Hello everyone, and welcome to the Season 2 roundup video for the Automation Beam Championship. Voiceover work is back to me for this video, where we'll take a look at each of the different rounds and which constructors and drivers came out on top, as well as the final standings for the constructors and drivers tables. Starting off, we'll take a look at each round's winners from the constructors side of things. The constructors winner for round 1 was the Century Motorsport Hydra RT V8. This car had two podiums, the first being in the lap time, which the car achieved a third place at the hands of driver MNF, and you'll see more of that coming throughout the season. And the car also won the Automation Market Points podium category, which we have come to expect from a sporting T after winning that category last season. The car also scored fairly well in the Automation Score Points and Aesthetics Points, giving it a total of 84 points, just 1 point ahead of Smoon Smithy for the round. Round 2 was once again won by Century Motorsport, this time in the Hadron with the Group B rally car. The car had two podiums in this round, both being first place spots. The first one was in terms of lap time, with both driver MNF and team boss, a supporting T, coming first and second in terms of lap time with two excellent laps. The car also won the Automation Market Points category, and also did fairly well in the Automation Scores and Aesthetics, giving it a total of 84 points for the second round in a row. Round 3, in Century Motorsport made it 3 out of 3 wins so far, with the M Falcon Superleggera. This car did excellently well, with 3 podiums out of the 4 different categories. First up in the lap time category, MNF took it 3 seconds quicker than any other driver, winning this category. It was a third place this round for a supporting T in the markets, the first time losing out this season on first place, but a second place in Automation Scores, which was his best result of the season. 15 points in Aesthetics is very respectable too, which took it to 90 points, which was the highest of any round in the whole season. Round 4 was our first round in the wet, and it was a different winner from Century this week, with myself, Thistle, coming out with the top spot. 2 podiums for me, with a first in the lap time and a second in the Automation Scores, and I finished with a total points of 84. Smoon's Racing was unlucky to be on 83 points, once again just 1 point off of the top spot. And for the final round of the season, we had a new winner, the Waffle Racing Waffle Motors Panther T8 Pikes Peak. This car did exceptionally well, and it was Waffle Racing's first win of the season. Top spot in the Automation Markets, and a second place in the Automation Scores, as well as good points for the lap time and Aesthetics, gave this car a total of 87 points, which was one of the best of the rounds of the season. And here we have it, all of the constructors winning cars for the season all part together. Quite liked how this season went in chronological order, and we got to see some very different cars, from hypercars of the 90s and 60s and 70s muscle cars, all the way up to modern Pikes Peak cars, so it was really good to see. So now we'll move on to the winners from each of the 4 categories, rounded up from the whole season. First up, we have the Fastest Lap Time Award, which went to myself, Thistle. I'm very happy to have won this, just ahead of Century Motorsport. But Century Motorsport made it up by winning the Automation Market Expert Award this season, just like a supporting team managed to do in the first season. This was only slightly ahead of Waffle Racing, and despite Waffle Racing winning 3 out of the 5 Automation Market categories for the season, a supporting T's first 2 wins and consistency for the last 3 rounds managed to win him the award. In terms of Automation Scores, once again it went to Smoon's Racing this season like it did last season, with his cars scoring the best in Automation. And finally, the Best Aesthetics Award went once again to Exige and his beautifully designed cars. In fact, his cars were so dominant in the aesthetics categories that his first 4 entries managed to come first place in each of the aesthetics votes, and the McLaren P1 replica was the only car not to win, but still managed a very respectable second place. But now, the moment a lot of you will have been waiting for, we'll take a look at the constructors' podium for this season. In third place, we have Waffle Racing, new to the championship this season. They got better and better every single round as the championship went on, and it was a very well deserved third place for the Polish team. In second place, we have Siemens Racing. Once again, a very, very good season for them, but just slightly away from the top spot this season. But your winners for Season 2 of the Automation Beam Championship is Century Motorsport. They had an excellent start to the season, winning the first 3 rounds, and consistency in the last 2 helped them take it across the line and win the championship. But now we'll take a look at how the whole table looks. So as you can see, Century Motorsport only just managed to beat Siemens Racing by only 4 points. Waffle Racing managed a pretty comfortable third place in the end, with myself, Thistle, in fourth. Ganner and NMR ended up in 5th and 6th, with Ganner overtaking NMR in the final round. Ferdinand PV had an excellent final round with their very, very quick car, which managed to make them up 2 positions. Team McKnight were unlucky to drop down 1 place, despite having an excellent looking car. Tomahawk did pretty well in the final round, with one of their best results for the season, which took them up 1 place. Sadly, Nethnier Racing, in their very, very cute but tiny and fairly underpowered round 5 car, sadly lost out on a few positions. Mikado, Pickard Motor Company and Tippin Motors all had good final rounds, each making up 3 places, especially Tippin Motors, who had their best result of the season, and they did very well to increase points in every single round, so hopefully they can make up some more positions going into Season 3. We were sad to see Krieger and LH Automobile LR Division drop out, which explains their loss of points going into the final round. Dreamer Motors had their best result of the season. Despite having very consistent mid-20s finishes, they had an excellent final round, making up 2 positions. Zeta Motors also had their best finish of the season, which made up 1 point. Sadly, International Motorsport Division had internet connection problems going into this round, which is why they sadly didn't manage to score any points. Orb Automotive stay where they were in the busy, changing championship table, and Velocita made up 1 position. Despite only being added to the championship late on, they still managed a very respectable 96 points. Striker sadly lost out 1 spot, with Aero Motorsports moving up 1 spot with their best finish of the season. Auto Delta Reporter Course also moved down 1 spot, with Aero Racer just finishing ahead of them. And Petty the Yeti, who had joined Velocita Motorsport, and Young Doofman didn't enter into the final round. So, let's take a look at which car was the fastest from each round in terms of the Drivers' Championship. In round 1, it was myself with the Thistle Haggis, bringing me and my brother a 1-2 finish in the Drivers' Championship. It wasn't the best looking car, and that can be shown after getting 0 points in the aesthetics votes, but at least it was quick. In round 2, it was the Century Motorsport Hadron, which again managed a 1-2 finish on the dirt surface. Round 3, it was a second win for Century Motorsport and driver M&F in the Century Motorsport M Falcon Superleggera, which managed to get a very good lap up the very tight streets of Italy. Round 4, and it was 2-2 between me and driver M&F for Century Motorsport, after I came first in the wet with the Thistle Gatelaldi SS. But for the final round, we had a new winner, and it was Ferdinand PV in the Ornskjold all-wheel drive. I hope I'm saying that right. So here is a picture of all of the cars together. Please note that it should have been the Thistle on the left, but I accidentally put in the Century Motorsport, so sorry about that. But now we'll move on to the driver's podium. So in third place, it was Simmons Smithy from the Netherlands. A very, very good performance from him, but sadly he didn't manage to take the win this season. But it was very, very close up at the top between driver M&F and myself for the win, but in second place, M&F just missed out. which meant that the winner for the Drivers' Championship was me, which I'm very happy with because I came second last season and I was really hoping that I wasn't going to be runner-up yet again. But now, here is the full Drivers' Championship table. As you can see, I overtook M&F on the last round and only managed to win the championship by 5 points. Third place was incredibly tight, with the Coloured Cow winning the last round, almost overtaking Smoon Smithy. But Smoon Smithy managed to hold on to the podium. Then we've got Sir Waffle and SA3D Prince in 5th and 6th. GamerMe and Serbent managed to make up some positions on the final round, with Serbent having his best result of the season. A supporting T and Dank Frank managed to tie, both on 48 points. And just behind them we have Exige, who managed to make up 4 points going into the last round with a very good lap. Gerbilderp also made up good positions going into the final round, making up 3 positions with his best result of the season. And the last 2 drivers to make up positions on the final round were Aero Racer with his best result of the season and Beep Beep with his best result in the season. So congratulations to everyone. And that's it. I hope you've all really enjoyed this season. I have, and I want to say a big thank you to all the mods that have been helping me out this entire season, as none of this would be possible without you. So thank you all for watching, thank you to everyone that has been helping out, and hopefully season 3 can be even better.